Hi guys, good day everyone. It's Rich Kid Mario. Welcome to my channel. So today I want to talk about renting an apartment in Accra. Uh, there are certain when if you want to rent an apartment in Accra, there are certain things you need to consider. Understand? There's a particular scam that is actually going on in Accra City, especially is like rental scam. So I've experienced it. So I want to share my experience in order to because I don't want other people to, fall for this same scam. Though I experienced it, but I didn't fall for it. But I was close to falling for it. I was almost a victim. So, you know, I want to create the awareness. I want you guys to also know what this scam is all about. So I was actually looking for a two-bedroom apartment and with a budget of 2,000 Ghana cedis a month. And so I started searching on Gigi Ghana. So I started like looking for apartments on Gigi Ghana. So I set my my budget to 2,000 Ghana cedis a month. And I saw loads of apartments. I saw a lot online. So the few ones that actually caught my attention, I caught the numbers, and I met up with the agent. So they took me, each of them, like I met up with a lot of agents. You know how it works. And anytime you go out for an inspection, the the agent tend to collect a inspection fee, or what's it even called? Is it? I don't know. I don't know what they call it, but you have to pay a fee to go about to go check the place, and the fee is usually 100 cedis, but you can negotiate. So for some of them, because it was my first time, I paid 100 cedis. But after some time, when I asked some people, they told me that I could negotiate. So with a few others that I actually went to inspect, I negotiated with some. Some I gave them 80 cedis, some 50 cedis. You know, it just depends on how impressed I was about the place. So there were some I was not impressed at all, but they look good online. But when I got to the place, there were one or two things that I just didn't like, and some of them too. I wasn't familiar with the location. I saw some locations online, and the houses were so nice. So I thought, because Accra is big, so I don't know everywhere. So I thought maybe they will be closer, but going there, I found out that like it's way too far for me, and considering my business and what I do and how where I want to stay, I don't want to stay far away from my business. So some of the places that I saw were like way too far for me. Then you know how these things go. So I was online for a long time, a long period of time. Like I was looking for apartment for more than 10 days with my budget. Just so you know, and my budget was 2,000 Ghana cedis a month. So it was difficult to actually get the one that I like. It was difficult to get my taste. So I searched online. I had to call a lot of people. And when you call the agent, you wouldn't want to say, okay, since you saw the pictures online, you wouldn't want to say, okay, let me just go there, because I don't want to be spending too much money on inspection. I don't want to be paying so many people, be going for 20 inspection a day, and that will amount to about, if I'm saying I'm paying 100 cities and I'm going for 20 inspection in a month or in a week, that would be like 2,000 Ghana cities, and it's a lot. It has already covered 1 month of the house rent. So some of them, you would actually want them to send you a picture on WhatsApp, send you some pictures on WhatsApp, and you want to ask some questions. So I took a lot of people's number, a lot of agents' number, and I went to see a lot of them too. On this fateful day, I received a call from an unknown number. And mind you, when I was going to do the inspection of all these apartments with all these agents, I usually don't save their numbers because I cannot save everybody's number. And these are random people, I don't know them. So I cannot be saving numbers on my phone. So these people, their random number just called me. And it was like, first thing he said was like, I have an apartment for you. The two-bedroom that you are looking for, I've gotten it. I was like, okay. So I thought it was one of the agents that I had contacted previously. I was like, okay, send me the pictures of the apartment on WhatsApp. And then he had my WhatsApp number, and then he did. And when he sent me the pictures of the apartment, oh my God. Now this apartment is way beyond my expectations. It's like the apartment was so nice. I was like, okay, I think this is what actually, because at that point, before this guy called me, I had already given up. I had already given up. I was so exhausted, going to different locations, going to check different apartments, and with so many disappointments, I had already given up. That was when this guy called me, and he was like, he has an apartment for me, only for him to send me the pictures on WhatsApp. This apartment where the pictures were beyond my expectations. They were so beautiful. I was like, okay, I think this is what I want. So we started chatting on WhatsApp. I was like, okay, how much is this apartment? And then he told me 3,000 Ghana cedis. So I was pissed. I was like, but I've been telling you because I thought he was one of the agents that I contacted in the past, and I made mention to all the agents that I want an apartment for 2,000 Ghana cedis a month. So I was pissed when he told me 3,000 Ghana cedis a month. I was like, I've been telling everybody that I want 2,000 Ghana cedis a month apartments. Why are you bringing me 3,000? Why are you sending me these pictures, making me fall in love with the place, liking the place, and then you are telling me it's 3,000? Like I was so pissed, and he was like, "Oh, I shouldn't worry that he would talk to the landlord. He would speak to the landlord for the landlord to reduce the price." I was like, "Okay, no problem." So he said I should give him 30 minutes. So we stopped chatting. After like 20 minutes, he called back again, and he said to me that the landlord says if I'm paying today, if I want to take the apartment today, he can do it for 2,500 Ghana cedis. And then I was like, okay. I told him I'll get back to him. And then, so I thought about the whole thing, went through the pictures and the videos he sent me. And I was like, oh my God, this apartment looks so great. Like, man, at that point, I was like, man, I know my budget is 2,000 Ghana cedis, but I'm ready to risk it. Because if you see this apartment, I was like, no, I'm ready to risk it. And it was in a prime location. It was in Achimota. So I was like, okay. I called the guy back, and I was like, I'm ready to pay, but I want to come and see the place first. And he was like, okay, I should let him know when I'll be coming. He said if I'll be coming like as soon as possible, the landlord might even reduce the price to 2,000. I was like, okay. So quickly, I took my bath. I was home. I took my bath, started rushing. I booked boat to the location he gave me. And lo and behold, now mind you, I had cash with me. I had the whole rent in the house with me. I wanted to go with it so I could just make payments instantly. But on a second thought, I was like, okay, it's not safe to be going about with all this cash. What if you get there and it's not a place you actually like? Maybe the environment is not good, or maybe the only the apartment is nice, but the environment is not good. So I was like, okay, let me leave the money at home. I left all the cash at home. So I set out to the location the man gave me. When I got there, oh my God, the location perfect. The house, we went inside. I inspected everything, and it was just the same. Just this. Okay, I think I'm going to show you. I'll put the video of the house on the screen for you guys to see. So the house was just same as the pictures and the videos he sent to me. And it's a new apartment, and it's not one, like there are story buildings, about there should be like four-story buildings. And the kitchen was good. They had an oven and a cooker in the kitchen already, the bathroom, the living room. In fact, the rooms were big. It's just a dream house. So I was like, I started thinking, I know house rent is expensive in Accra, and then I've been online looking for houses in my budget, but all what I see are houses that I just don't like. So why would something be this beautiful and then it will cost only 2,500 Ghana cedis? So I had these doubts in my head. I was like, it's too good to be true. So after inspecting the place, then the agent asked me if I like the place. I was like, yes, I love it. I love it. And he asked me, will I be making payments today? I was like, yes. So he said, okay, he wants to call the landlord. I'm like, okay. So right in front of me, in my presence, he called the landlord and he put it on speaker and he was talking to the landlord and was like, uh, you know, he was telling the landlord that the person who wants to take the house likes the place, so he wants to make payment today. If there's any possibility that he can come, so we meet up and then make payments. The landlord said okay. So the landlord asked to speak with me. So the agent gave me the phone to speak with the landlord. Um, when I got the phone, the landlord asked me if I'm ready to pay, if I'm okay with the place. I told him yes, and I'm ready to pay. So he was like, okay, he's coming. He actually went out, so he's coming. So we waited in there for 5 minutes, and then a call came through to the agent's phone, and it was the landlord. He said he was downstairs, that we should come downstairs outside the gate. So we went outside the gate. The landlord he came with a Mercedes Benz C300 precisely, very flashy, like Mercedes Benz C300, and he had a driver. And these are matured men. The agent too is a matured man. So when he came, he wind down the glass, and then he started asking me what tribe I am. I told him. He asked me what I do for a living. I told him. He asked many things that um, and landlord will actually ask you if you want to rent an apartment. Basic questions and interview you questions you have to answer if you want to rent an apartment. He asked me everything and then I answered him. So he said he liked the way I spoke to him and the way I answered the questions. He likes my personality and his spirit um aligns with me. So he's willing to rent the apartment for me. And then he asked me if I have the money here to make payments. And I told him no. I left the money at home. So I need to go home and pick the money and bring it back. So he asked me where I currently stay. At that time, I was staying in North Legon. So, and then he was like, okay. He said he was going to ECG, Kwabenya, to make payment for light. That I should meet him in Kwabenya since my house is since where I'm staying currently is close to North Legon. And if you are familiar with Accra, from North Legon to Kwabenya is not really far. It's just a short distance. So I was like, okay. Then the landlord left with his driver. The supposed landlord left with his driver to Kwabenya. I would have followed them, but I don't know them, so I cannot follow them. So the landlord and his driver left me and the agent. So the agent was like, so I told the agent, since the landlord wants me to bring the money in to Kwabenya, like, let's go together. Every agent wants his commission. So he definitely would not want to go behind and make payment to the landlord. So he said he was going to follow me to the Kwabenya ECG. I was like, fine. But I told him that he will have to wait for me at Kwabenya ECG. Then so I'll go home and bring the money and come and meet all of them there. He was like, okay. So I booked a boat and we left to Kwabenya ECG. When we got to Kwabenya ECG, I dropped the agent there, asked him to wait for me while I go home to go fetch the money. So I left. On my way to, as soon as I just left with the boat, I told the guy, the boat driver, to take me back to the apartment. So he was like, okay. So he took me back to the apartment. And then I went back to the apartment, and then I went to contact like a few neighbors. I knocked on some of the gates and I asked a few questions. I was making a list. I was like, is this building up for rent? And they told me like they don't know, but it's a new building, so they don't know what they want to use it for, if they want to rent it or not. So I asked a few people, they were like, then one was like, go inside the building, there are workers there, you understand? Say they've not completed their work, so there are still some of the apartment that needs to be worked on. So I should go there and ask the workers. So when I got there, I went there, the gate was already locked. I was like, why I left this place just now, like about 30 minutes ago? Why is the place locked? I tried to open it from the outside, but it was locked. I was even surprised. So I started knocking on the gate, and then a man came out, and he was like, "Yes, what do I want?" And then I asked him, "Sir, please, I would like to know if this place is for rent." And he was like, "No, it's not for rent. That the owner actually wants to use it for an Airbnb." And I was like, I just came here right now, like 30 minutes ago, with some men, and I inspected the whole place, and they told me it was for rent. So how come you are telling me something different? He was shocked. He was like, they've never placed, they've never, like the owner has never said he wants to rent this place. It's just that people have been calling him, to ask about the place, but he never said he wants to rent the place. His own intention is to use the place for as an Airbnb. So and then I explained to him what happened. I was like, okay, um, I came here with some men who claim to be the landlord and stuff like that. So he gave me the landlord's number. So I called the landlord directly, and then I asked the landlord, and he was like, no, that he doesn't want to rent a place that is for an Airbnb. So and then I was like, okay, sir, no problem. And I hung up. But then I was discussing with the man who opened the gate for me. And he too, he was surprised because he he's in charge of the place. He didn't know when I entered or when um, the agent entered, and then we went to inspect the place. He didn't know. So he was like, okay, there was a plumber working on the third floor. Mind you, where I went to inspect was the second floor. So there was a plumber working on the third floor. So we were down, and then he called the plumber. He called him by his name, and the guy brought his head out through the window, and he was asking the plumber if he was aware that I actually came to inspect the place with an agent. And the plumber said no, but there was the plumber said no, but um, some men came to inspect the place, like three men. And the three men, they actually called the landlord and told the landlord they actually want to inspect the place. The landlord actually called the plumber. I think he was trying to call the guy that opened the gate for me. His line didn't go through. So he called the plumber to inform him that there will be three men coming to inspect this place. So when they come, make sure you let them in and be with them while they inspect the place. So the plumber told me three men came to inspect the place. So it's only the three men that he's aware of. He didn't know when I came. And then I told the plumber that I actually came here and I inspected the place and I described how the building is. And he was even shocked. And then I asked the plumber to describe the three men that actually came to inspect the place. Apparently, it was the agent and the two other and the landlord with the driver. It was the three of them. So it was a plan team. Like, so this is how they operate. I was actually lucky that day. Just imagine I wasn't lucky and I made payments. They would have gone with my money and it is cash. It might not be traceable. You see, that's how I would have lost that money. Huge amount of money. About 24,000 or 25,000 Ghana cedis, which can equate to like $2,000. I would have lost that money. So I'm glad nothing happened. I'm glad I didn't fall for it. So after this thing, I went online on Facebook to search if I can get a community where it might be easy for me to get apartment online. So I joined a group on Facebook. Not a group. I joined several groups on Facebook, and you know, I started going through their posts and stuff like that. And somebody posted and was like, she lost 4,600 Ghana cedis to scammers. And it's literally the same thing that happened to me. The same process. That was like she narrated a story and it was the same thing. I was like, oh my God. So I guess this is like a pattern. This is what they actually do. So this is a thing. All right. So guys, make sure you be careful when you want to rent an apartment in Accra. These scammers, they are not joking. For the fact that they are even arranged, they came with a car to make it look as if it's real. Because normally, if you see a car, if you see somebody that is, if you see like a Mercedes Benz, you already feel like, true, is a landlord. All these people, they are rich. You know, I could have easily fell for that. But me, I don't really believe anything because, I don't trust people. I find it difficult to trust people, and especially when everything is looking too good to be true. So guys, I'm making these videos to create awareness and to tell you that you should beware of this type of scams in Accra when you want to rent an apartment. Make your findings. If you want to rent a space, if you want to rent an apartment, if you want to rent a room, after you meet with the agent, after you meet with the landlord, still go back, go to the surrounding, ask people about the area, ask people about the house, ask other people to know if they know the actual landlord, because it might be that the landlord the agent told you is the landlord is not the landlord. So make sure you do your find, make sure you do your research, you ask people about, you ask around about the place. All right, so thank you guys. Please make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you guys for watching. Share this video, create more awareness, and be careful guys. Thank you. Bless.